What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 29 of C4SVillains. I am your host JB and I'm here with two very special guests, my boys Abe and Steve. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Like always, we love showing up here, week to week. It's been fun. It's been a fun journey.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, man. As you guys know, today is going to be a super chill episode. I wanted to just have a little fun, just kick back, talk about some comics, talk about some comic book movies, and just chillax, because next week is going to be jam-packed, guys. Next week we're going to be reviewing the very first episode of What If, and we will be doing a full deep dive spoilers discussion of James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Steve, have you seen it yet?
I've seen about half of it now. I haven't seen it all the way. But I've almost seen it all. I've seen about half of it.
Yeah,
y'all seen it already?
I know Abe's seen it, and I did watch it today.
Damn.
Look, I already gave my rating.
So far, it's been really good, though.
Yeah. So we can give brief non-spoiler thoughts a little bit later on in the show. Kind of want to talk about that. But first thing I want to start off with is an announcement that we have. We're going to have two announcements right here at the top of the show. First, huge announcement for the channel and for Villains itself. Abe and Steve are now full-time co-hosts of C4SVillains. So we've been holding on to this for 2 weeks now. I've been waiting to say this news for so long. We did the entire Loki review together, and I was like, man, I think we have great chemistry. We all bring something different to the show. We all have different perspectives, and I was like, I have to get these guys as co-hosts on the show. So officially, Steve, Abe, thank you guys so much for accepting being a part of the team.
It's an honor, man. I feel like I've come so far, man, from just being in the comments and supporting every time. And then all of a sudden, I rose from the ashes and now I'm here, man. So, man, thank you for real, though. It was an honor to be a guest at first. And now, got some big shoes to fill, man.
Well, this is a public service announcement to everybody watching and everybody who will be watching. I am inevitable. That's all this is. But real talk, I appreciate it, JB. This has been real fun. Just being able to participate with you and just chat with you, and the Loki review was so lit. And now Son of Darkseid gets to join another team. I'm excited about that. So I ain't got nothing to complain about. I'm happy. We here. What's up?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I've been holding in that announcement for 2 weeks now, so happy to finally get that out there, because we're gonna have a lot of great stuff coming on the channel for you guys. We're gonna do a lot more movie reviews, a lot more deep dive comic reviews. I just finished the Crime Syndicate, the new 6th issue run by DC. So good. Highly recommend you guys read it. I want the team to read it as well so that we can do a review sometime later on in the year. But for sure, Crime Syndicate was pretty good, that limited run. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of crazy stuff coming on the channel in the next couple of months. Second announcement, we're doing another comic book giveaway. So Abe, I'm going to toss it to you. Let the people know what comic we'll be giving away.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just turning off my ring light so y'all can see. But so tune in next week in that jam-packed episode of C4SVillains, because as one of your new hosts, I just thought it'd be fun to do another giveaway. I mean, I guess I should add in my AKA the giveaway man. That sounds like a good horror movie title. That's just gonna F everybody's minds up. So I'm gonna work with that. But anyway, we have been, if you follow C4S, Careful for Spoilers on Twitter, you've been seeing some of the comics that have been tweeted out recently, and one of them really caught our eye, and we felt that it would be a fun issue to give away. So the next giveaway is going to be for Extreme Carnage, the Lasher issue. This is a variant cover of it. I think later JB will show what he got, but this is a variant cover. We will be giving this away. As of right now, this is our third ever giveaway. Shout out to our previous two winners, JD Banks, who won the Static Shock comic at the it's not Static Shock, the Milestone Return Static issue 1 comic, and then of course Edlin Walters for winning the Loki comic that we gave away a few weeks ago. So super excited. Make sure you tune in. The winner will be announced live. All you have to do is just basically tune in. Just tune in.
Super jealous.
Come out, hang out with us. Yeah.
Make me a burner account and make
nah. I mean, you are eligible, but
give me a KD burner account. Give me a KD burner account and be like,
yeah, but like JB said, like the CEO himself said, tune in next week. We're going to talk about What If episode 1, Suicide Squad. It's going to be lit. So tune in so you can win.
Yeah, definitely tune in for that. I want to get into our comic book recommendations. For those of you that don't know, every single month at the beginning, the first episode of every month, we'll either be doing a comic book recommendation or we'll be doing a full comic book review. And today, we'll be just doing the recommendation. Since last week, we reviewed Darkseid War, which was such an amazing comic. Can't wait to read it again. It's kind of what made me wanted to read the Crime Syndicate comic, because we just got a taste of them in Darkseid War, so I wanted to get a little bit more from Earth 3. So that was a lot of fun. So I'll go first. And I am going to recommend Spirits of Vengeance Spirit Rider. This cover looks absolutely amazing. Love this cover. And it follows the Demon Rider and Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider, where they meet up in the exact same timeline at the same time, and something has corrupted Johnny Blaze's Spirit of Vengeance, and the I think her name is Kushla. Her job is to then try to find Johnny Blaze and to free his Spirit of Vengeance from whatever is corrupting his spirit. So the first issue was 34 pages, really, really good intro. Love the art, love the dialogue, love the intro into this character, because I didn't know much about this character at all, if I'm being perfectly honest. I didn't know that she was the sorcerer supreme of her time in the 1800s. She's an Apache Native American, and how she met Doctor Strange was there was this huge transdimensional war, and Doctor Strange gathered a bunch of different sorcerer supremes from different timelines, and she got stuck in our time period. So now her new mission at this current time is trying to figure out what's going on with Johnny Blaze. And like I said, really good beginning. Not sure how long the run is going to be, but I am definitely interested in seeing where this character is going to go. And I love Johnny Blaze as a character. He's been a villain, he's been an anti-hero, he's been a straight up hero. So getting to see him kind of as a villain right now, it's very interesting. So I highly recommend picking it up. It literally just dropped this week, so definitely check it out. I'll show cover one more time. I mean, just look at this art. Looks absolutely incredible, so check it out.
Looks really good. So I was, I was going back and forth with myself, and I think I made up my mind. So you guys are more so the Marvel DC guys. I'll be doing the independent comics. So comics that people don't really know too much.
You about to be upset then.
So for this one, I think honestly and truthfully, even though I really, really want to do the other one, but they're about to make a movie for it. So I'm gonna do I Hate Fairyland. So I Hate Fairyland is a comic about, there's a woman, she's in her mid-20s, 25-ish, and she gets transported to a place called Fairyland. It's all super happy and glittery and stuff, but she gets transported into like an 8-year-old body. So she's like a little kid, but she's still like a grown woman. She still thinks like a grown woman, things like that. So they're in the comic or whatever, pretty much like instead of saying fuck, she'll say fudge, or instead of saying shit, she'll say shoot, things like that. They play on things like that. They mess with her a lot. And then they also they have this thing where she's like in love with this prince. And the prince is like, oh, you're an 8-year-old kid. And she's like, no, I'm a grown woman. So they have like things right there where it's edgy. And he's like, move away. You're a kid. And she's like, no, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? So, but she's got this adult mind, and then she's pretty much trying to get to the end of fairyland, is what they call it. And she's trying to find out who did this to her. So it's really, really good. It's only 20 issues, so it's a short run. It's by Scott Skeevil. I don't want to butcher his name because his last name is real weird. But just to make sure that I got it right. Scotty Skeevil Young. So yeah, and it's only 20 issues. It's a short read, but it's really, really good. I think it's something different. It's something interesting. If you're in anime, like I told Abe, I love Saga of Tanya the Evil. Pretty much I Hate Fairyland is right up that alley, but it's more so of a fairy type land or whatever. And she's really, really brutal. When she kills people, it's brutal. So it gives you that quick dynamic of, oh yeah, it's all unicorns and rainbows and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I hate it here. So when she does find somebody that she's like trying to figure out who did this to her, she gets to it. So I Hate Fairyland, I think, is a good read. And I think that's the route that I'm going to start taking. Instead of going Marvel DC, I'll start going the extra route for my recommendations.
Cool.
Well, that's awkward, Steve, because my recommendation is neither Marvel or DC.
God damn it.
Good.
However, there are times. So that's why I was like, damn, he's really going to make that bold claim right now. And it's like, it's not going to go the way you want. But if you can see behind me, there's a sloth in the optical illusion. Some of those who may be watching, first of all, shout out to Retro and Noxie from the TL, because I saw them talking about this and it had me intrigued. The comic I'm recommending is called Memetic by Boom Studios.
I've heard of this, yeah.
It is written by, and this is where the connection to DC comes in, written by James Tynion IV, who was known for his work on Batman, following the New 52, and especially with Batman Eternal and all that stuff. I mean, he's the one that brought back Mr. Freeze into continuity, and he also connected the Court of Owls with Alfred Pennyworth's father. So, I mean, that's rich history. JB, as a fan of Batman, you should definitely give this a look. But the comic is 3 issues, just 3 issues. It was written, I think, in 2015. It basically covers like the effects of a meme, this guy behind me, on human society and what it does. And it's for 3 issues. It's really good. The ending was wild, and just in terms of what we are shown. And there was rumors of a movie coming out. It was set to start production back in January 2020. Seth Rogen's name was attached to it. Unfortunately, that was before the pandemic, so who knows what's happening with that. But definitely check it out, Memetic. I had fun. It's a quick read, 3 issues, but it's a really, really good 3 issues. If you're into apocalyptic horror, definitely get into this.
Nice, yeah. I love the recommendations, guys. Yeah, I definitely also want to branch out a little bit more from Marvel and DC, because what I want to do with these recommendations is bring awareness to things that people won't normally pick up or see in their like comic book shop or anything. So definitely thank you guys so much for bringing that up. I just wanted to recommend that Ghost Rider comic because it was just nice to see just like a woman of color, being a Ghost Rider and going through this journey. So I wanted to make sure that I highlighted that. But thank you guys so much for the recommendations. And again, we will have either a recommendation or a review at the beginning of every month. This is one of my favorite segments that we're going to be doing on the show. So definitely stay tuned for that. And look at the other episodes to see what else we've recommended, because we've recommended some really good stuff. So let's get into some of the news for today's episode. So first piece of news that I wanted to talk about was the official announcement of the Injustice Gods Among Us animated movie. So Steve, I want to start with you. What are your thoughts when we got this news?
Oh man. So when we got the God Among Us animated movie, I was super hot because of the fact that we're gonna get that gritty Superman like dark feeling that we haven't got in the anime, and the DC animated universe is absolutely amazing. So we're seeing that in the DC animated universe is going to be crazy. We've seen so many different times where Superman, and I don't know if you guys know, but I'm like not a fan of the Boy Scout. I'm not a fan of the Leonardo from Ninja Turtles, Cyclops, Superman. I'm not a fan of the Boy
Same.
Scout type character.
The only Boy Scout I like is Cap. It's Captain
Yeah,
America. He's the only one.
And that's only just recently because of Civil War. And I mean, because of Winter Soldier, really. Winter Soldier was really what sold me. But before then, I wasn't really sold on that Boy Scout type character. So seeing Superman go dark, this is going to be fire. And I want to see how they're going to do it. Are they going to do the whole Injustice thing? Or is it going to be Injustice and they're going to break it up into an Injustice 2? Like the video game series and things like that. I'm really excited to see this. This is going to be fire because DC animation has not missed, like at all. Like every single one of them have not missed.
Abe?
I'm not here for any Superman slander. we support Clark Kent around here.
Hey,
but
man, you're a fan of villains. It's so weird that you love Superman so much.
It's funny that y'all say the only Boy Scout y'all like is Captain America and whatnot. The only Boy Scout I like is Superman. Like that's it. I don't really like Boy Scout characters, but Superman is the one. But yeah, it's I'm excited for Injustice. I remember I've read the comics. I think I read up until year 2 of the issues, and they were really good. It's now we get to see what happens when Superman finally breaks. Like we get to finally see him at his breaking point and what comes of it, and it's a great series. I know people have said that later on it falls off a bit. I'm gonna go back, restart so I can catch up and complete. But to be honest with y'all, it's gonna be. I hope they do justice because they'll also highlight some more other characters. Like, we get some Constantine for sure, which is gonna be fun. We get some more Sinestro. We're gonna get it just Marvel Civil War is basically Injustice Civil War. Injustice is Civil War for them, and it's gonna be so fun
Pretty
seeing
much
the heroes and villains, which sides they stand on, new allegiances, and oh my gosh, I'll drop this one spoiler. Superman with a ring. Oh, that was fun. That was fun. So definitely excited for Injustice. I'm also curious how they're going to do this. Are they going to probably just try to do year 1 and maybe 1 or 2 movies, and then it'll be a series where they'll cover year 2, year 3, or are they going to basically just try to shorten the story and be like, hey, this is what we're going to do, and this is it. The DC, this is now the start of a new DC animated universe era. That started off with
Justice Society, I believe.
Justice Society, yeah. I've heard mixed feelings on that one. I haven't watched it yet. And I assume Batman: The Long Halloween counts in this new era. And so now we're going to get this. So if there's multiple films, and if this becomes a series, an Injustice series, it'd be cool to have this because it's not part of main continuity. It's like outside. It's like Elseworlds. But it's so fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Like, will they do multiple Injustice movies, or will they try to just put the whole thing into one movie? That'll be interesting. Justin Hartley is going to be the voice of Superman, who played Oliver Queen in Smallville. I thought that was cool.
Okay.
Put that in there. Gillian Jacobs from Community is going to be Harley Quinn. I think she's great as Harley Quinn. Anson Mount is going to be Batman. I think that's a pretty good choice too, because pretty sure he did the video game, right? Or was that someone else?
I can't recall.
Yeah, he might have done one of the games or something else.
Is Etrigan in there?
I didn't see Etrigan's name on the list.
Because he does
voice work, right?
Well, Etrigan does. He's gonna come about in Injustice, if I remember correctly. We're gonna see, the poetic demon. The
Hmm.
poetic demon.
He's not on the IMDb list, but we're gonna get Mr. Terrific, Killer Croc, Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Green Arrow, Victor Zsasz, Plastic Man,
Yeah.
Joker, Jonathan Kent, Mirror Master, Shazam, Captain Atom, Ra's al Ghul, Aquaman, Nightwing, Damien, Green Lantern,
Oh, it's gonna be
and Cyborg.
stacked.
Yeah,
No Sinestro?
not that I see from the IMDb list, and
Ooh,
I'm looking at the
because
full cast list, so there might be more.
Sinestro could be like a part two. Because you can't if
Yeah,
so, that has me feeling like it's gonna be a series then because Sinestro is a major player as far as I remember. So if you're not gonna have him in there unless you're keeping it hidden, then we'll probably get a series from this.
yeah. Chris, I'm not sure if Man of Tomorrow kicked it off because I believe that after what was it
Apocalypse War.
After Apocalypse War, when Barry runs back in time, I'm pretty sure he ends up with the Justice Society when the timeline changes again. So I think that's the first one, but I could be wrong. I'll need to look it up to be certain. But yeah, man, I'm definitely excited for the Injustice movie. This is one of those stories that just shows like the differences between Batman and Superman. And it's like, yeah, I mean, Joker has taken people from Batman too, but he's never crossed that line. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And yes, it is Lois Lane, but he and she was pregnant. Like let's be honest here. That's a lot to take in.
that's a like yeah.
But it just shows the difference. And to see Superman go to the complete opposite is like, well, in order to stop anything like this ever happening again, I'm just gonna subjugate the entire planet.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yo, Lex Luthor been saying, "Oh, you just," and Superman did a great job of not doing it. Now you see,
See the
now
levels
you
of
get
villainy.
what you want. Now you're gonna get what you want, Lex. Okay. But even then, remember in the issues there was like there was a little Nexus event. I would say that the event that starts off in Justice is a Nexus event. There was a branch where Batman kind of was thinking like if he did things differently and if he did what he did to prevent the Nexus event from happening in the timeline that ensued afterwards, it was pretty cool. And I hope we get to see that animated because then it was like, oh, we see Superman, we see Diana, we see Superman's child. It's just like, yo, that'd be lit. I just want to, that's a good, like maybe 10, 15 minutes just animated. That was a pretty real idea into Bruce Wayne and the levels he's willing to go just to protect his friends. And no crazy stuff. It was admirable. I was like, shit, I feel it.
Yeah, have you guys played the games at all?
Yeah, but I'm not good at fighting games like those. But it was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I played
same.
it. I played it literally for the story though. So it was like, even though it would take me a minute to beat some of the guys, but I was like, I don't care. I just need to get to the next part.
Oh yeah, when I play
And
fighting games, it's mainly for the story. I'm not challenging nobody in a fighting game. I'm gonna get my ass whooped. Like I don't do that.
this is the thing about fighting game. With shooter games, you can play the story, and it's like, okay, I'm good at a shooting game. But fighting games, once you start getting good with a character, they're like, oh, surprise, you got to play with another person. It's like, motherfucker. It's like, so that was the only thing about Injustice that was like causing a rift with me because it was like right when I started getting good with like Canary or some. Or
it's like, all right, new chapter, new hero or villain that you're playing. You're like, wait, hold on. I was just getting.
I finally had it. Like I finally had it.
I actually liked playing as Joker, like a lot for some reason. Like just hitting people with a crowbar was just a lot of fun for some reason.
You see why he does it now.
My favorite character was actually was Wonder Woman. I did actually like playing with Wonder Woman. It was pretty dope because you got to use the lasso, and then also you could use the environment around you, and that was really fun. But all right, so quick tangent. Who had the better? I don't want to. Who had the better one-liners? Because you know how they always says like, yo, I mean, Joker had some pretty good ones, but there was some fun-ass one-liners in Injustice.
I don't know. It's been a while since I played it. I can't remember if I'm being honest.
I know in Injustice 2, Harley Quinn had the best one-liners.
She
now,
did.
The first one, I don't know about the first one because it's been a while since I played that first one. But I played the second one like probably about 6 months ago. and Harley Quinn's one-liners were really fucking good. So yeah, it's Harley Quinn for me.
Yeah.
The Joker definitely has some fire one-liners at number one, but it's just like the Joker is that type of character to always have some. That's who he is. He's gonna have one-liners that just snap. Um, but yeah, you know what? Now I need to see if I still have it on the system, re-download and play some Injustice now because
Yeah, right.
I'm missing it. But yeah, hype for Injustice. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I'm really excited for this movie. Hope it's good. I mean, 95% of the time, DC always hits, man. I there's maybe one or two of the animated movies that I thought were like just okay. There was this one. It was like an alternate Earth where like Batman was like a man bat or like actually a vampire. That one wasn't that good, if I'm being honest. It was fine, but yeah, most of them are amazing. So I'm really excited for this. Next piece of news that I wanted to talk about was the Blue Beetle news. I'm probably gonna butcher his name, and I apologize in advance. But Zolo Maridueña, he is going to be Blue Beetle in the HBO Max movie that they're making. He is on Cobra Kai. I haven't seen Cobra Kai. Are you watching Cobra Kai? Do you know? Is he good on it?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Who is he in Cobra Kai?
He's the main.
Is that Miguel?
Miguel, yeah.
That's Miguel. Oh, I did not recognize him.
He looks different because he's got long hair. He's got like a beard. He's really
he's
like
Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Oh, not Miguel Eaton because season 4 dropped of Cobra Kai drops in December. Now he got Blue Beetle. Oh, get your bag, Miguel. I'm team Rob. I'm team Rob.
What?
You know, I was happy what happened in season at the end of season 1 or was at the end of season 2. What happened to Miguel? Look, Robbie did what he had to do, Playboy. I'm sorry, Miguel.
Man.
I'm sorry, Miguel. But yo, get your bag. Okay. I had no idea what his real name was. Yeah, no, but just know I'm very few are team Robbie. And I'm one of those few. And you know, it's 50-50 about Team Hawks. I'm a fan of Team Hawks, but everybody mostly loves Miguel. Damn, I did not recognize it because the picture was long ass hair.
So he's got long hair, he's got a beard, he's got like a big jacket he kind of looks like he's a little buff underneath there too. Like it's like the character that he's playing on Cobra Kai, that's clearly
it's completely different.
It's clearly not his personality.
Because he's a high school student, you know, real skinny kid, lean. I mean, he definitely has some fighting skills because you got to if you're going to be doing a show like Cobra Kai for 4 seasons. Yeah. So this is exciting. That he's okay. He's Blue Beetle. All right.
I need to watch Cobra Kai, man, because I'm a huge Karate Kid fan. I've just been waiting for episodes to pile up.
It's pretty good. It does have its cheesy moments, but it's pretty good.
Plus, so much callback to the movies. So much. Sir, I need you. Season 4 drops in December. I need you to hop.
I'll be caught up by now.
Yes, because by the time you get to season 3, you're gonna lose your mind. And then when you finish season 3 and then you finally see all the trailers that have been dropping about who's coming in season 4, you're gonna lose your mind. So I need you to go do that.
Bet.
It's been pretty good.
But yeah, man, like what are your thoughts on them making a Blue Beetle movie in general? Do you guys think it maybe would have worked better as like a limited TV series? Because that's kind of what I'm thinking. What do you guys think?
You know, for me, the limited TV series from HBO Max have been 50-50. You know, we have the Arrowverse, and those have been, they all started off well for the most part, minus Sam Supergirl, because that never started off well. And then they kind of fell off. And then you have the HBO Max shows such as Doom Patrol, which everybody's loved. Titans start off slow, but it's been picking up real well.
Yeah, need to catch up.
Yeah, and so for me, I'm just like, look, I like the idea of at least giving us a origin movie. I'm assuming this will be an origin movie of a character who's Latino. Good representation, and it's just we're finally getting someone who's not a big member of, you know, not a member of the Trinity, not a big member of the Justice League. We have a young guy, because you see him in Young Justice, you know, that's where we see him. So for him to get his own movie, I'm down for that. As a limited series, you know, maybe I wouldn't be upset if this was to be basically they'll use this to be a backdoor pilot to a limited series, you know. I think that'd be cool, and that'd be a fun way to really maybe restart the DCEU. is by these origin movies, and then we drop a show. I'm just saying because Suicide Squad made me forget that the DCEU hurt my soul, and so please don't hurt my soul again. Let Blue Beetle be Flames, and you know what? Do the right thing. Give us a show. Thank you,
Steve.
I would have liked to see Blue Beetle as a show, especially after the way seeing WandaVision, Loki, and things like that. So seeing their shows, and Blue Beetle has Black Beetle, Green Beetle, they got so much to offer that I really feel like Blue Beetle would have been a better show. And for a movie, it's kind of at that point where it's like, where does it sit? You know what I'm saying? Because with the DC universe, if it's going in the DC universe, where does it sit? Because it's hella early if they're trying to tie it into the whole DC Justice League thing.
I gave up on that.
Yeah, so
this is just like them just throwing movies in there. They're not connected.
It just feels like they're just like, all right, well, Blue Beetle will probably be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of, where does it sit? I don't have a problem with it in a sense. Like, obviously, I think that it's a good character. I think it's a great character. You get that, like you said, you got that representation of the Latino community, things like that. But my overall opinion is just like, what is DC doing with their universe? Are they going to try to go ahead and do this Justice League thing and tie everybody together? Because if they're doing that, it's hella early for Blue Beetle. So that's just where my overall thinking of it is. Where are they going with it? So yeah. But other than that, I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be a really good movie. Hopefully they do it more so darker than kind of like Shazam, the first one. Hopefully it's updated with like the Shazam and things like that, because Blue Beetle is going to be very CGI with the scab, the scab and thing like that. Like, it's going to be a lot of CGI. So that's the one thing that I am kind of worried about.
You bring up a good point, Steve, is that I hope they don't try to go the Shazam route, where it's because it's a teenager, it's a younger kid, they're going to try to make it lighthearted, more comedic.
And he ain't lighthearted at all.
Yeah, it's like, don't do that. Don't try to alleviate the tone. The current tone for Blue Beetle is good enough because, I mean, it speaks to a lot of things that would be relevant anyway. So I hope they please don't Shazam it. Please don't.
Yeah, I'm you guys already know, I'm not the biggest fan of Shazam. Like, it's not a bad movie or anything. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. But I like what you were saying, Abe. I would love for this to be like a backdoor pilot type movie for a limited series, because as we know from the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker is getting a series after this. So this is them doing that same thing. Now, Steve, you brought up a point. Where does this fit into the DCEU? And I would love to talk about this a lot more after we talk about the Michael B. Jordan Superman news, because there's going to be 2 black Supermen pretty much going on around the same time. So we're going to have a pretty good discussion surrounding that. But yeah, where does it fit? We were talking about this on Anime Lately kind of last night. Like, the DCEU, all of these movies should just take place in the same universe, and they should stop trying to interconnect them until they figured out a plan, right? Because we know Shazam takes place in the same universe as Henry Cavill's Superman, as Ben Affleck's Batman. We know that the Suicide Squad takes place in the exact same DCEU, but they're loosely connected. Keep doing that. You're not good at connecting these movies and interweaving them. Stop. Have them take place in the same universe, and then, you know, just make your own movies. Just stop. But I'm very excited for this, honestly. Like, Blue Beetle is one of my favorite characters from Young Justice. I love the Scarab and like his relationship with Jamie Reyes and how that's gonna work in the movie. That might be the one thing that I'm kind of worried about, because it has its own personality, right? Like, how will they portray that on screen? And this is a new director too. He has directed some things, but smaller projects, right? So I'm curious to see how he's going to tackle that, but very excited to finally see Jamie Reyes on screen. Finally, time for some diversity in the DCU.
Yeah. And it's Miguel too. Oh man, I'm so hyped. I didn't know that. Oh, that makes me so excited. It makes me much more excited.
The Scarab kind of has that Venom type personality, so it's gonna be very interesting.
But don't do it like Venom, because I still haven't watched Venom, but just off the trailer for Venom 2, I'm like, this is how the symbiote behaves. I'm like, oh Yeah, no, the Scarab is more intelligent than that.
Very
So
much
don't
so.
so
More
don't cheapen the Scarab. Please don't. Please don't. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I'll be upset.
I recommend watching Venom. Just be prepared for the first 40 minutes to be a little rough. And I mean
So
it's
come
rough in
in with
terms of it
low
being generic.
expectations.
Yes, the
Okay.
last 40 minutes is good, but the first 40 minutes, it's every movie you've ever seen since the dawn of time. So it's not really that interesting. But speaking of diversity, expanding the DCEU, next piece of news that I wanted to talk about was Michael B. Jordan's Superman series on HBO Max. Now, very excited for this. Michael B. Jordan is going to be producing the project. Very excited to see. You said it's gonna be Val Zod, right?
Yeah, from
Yeah,
Earth 2, I believe.
yeah.
Yes.
So it's gonna be Val Zod Superman. Very excited for that. I believe Michael B. Jordan will be Val Zod, if I read the article correctly. That's what I think. That's what I hope. He's going to be the draw, if anything. So I hope he's going to be
Yeah.
producing and starring in it. And this is good. But they're also doing another Black Superman project. And then they're also doing another Superman in Justice League Dark. So it's like, how many Superman are we going to get all at once? Now, the multiverse exists. You know, as comic book fans, we're used to stuff like this, right? There's Ultraman on Earth 3. There's Calvin Ellis. We're used to this. But it's like, really? We're just gonna, just all of them all at the same time. What do you guys think?
Yeah. That seems off. But I'm really excited. You know what? I didn't know who would play Superman in the Michael B. Jordan series, but it being Michael B. Jordan kind of makes sense because for anybody who's aware, this version of Superman we're going to see is more it is not your typical version. This one is I mean, you can throw out the word a coward, you can throw out emotional, but there's a lot of growth with this character, and it's a really great story. And Michael B. Jordan has experience with that. You know, you look at Fruitvale Station, you look at Creed, like tapping into an emotional character. Michael B. Jordan has it. So if he's playing the titular role, I'm down. I'm for sure down. Um, but in terms of having three different Supermans dropping relatively around the same time, this is why the DCEU doesn't really like, again, that interconnectivity doesn't matter. It tells me that they don't care about that right now. They're willing just to that what they're trying to do is like, hey, let's just have stories out there. And if that's what you want to do, cool. I'm content with that. I wish you would have staggered it. Don't just drop three Superman properties at the same time. Stagger it a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely going to tap into the HBO Max series first, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely gives that fact of that thought of they don't really care about putting out a linear storyline or anything like that, or tying things in together or making connectivity or anything like that. It definitely feels like money. Like, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Let's grab some money. Let's make $1 billion movie, blah, blah, blah. But they're not actually trying to entwine the whole universe, which is, if that's the route they're deciding to go, at least we understand it, or some of us do understand it, and we're just rolling with it. I'm more so of like how you guys said, three different Supermans, and it's like you still got that afterthought of Henry Cavill, things like that. And it's just, you just like, how many times are they going to redo this? Because you still got Krypton that came out. You got all sorts of things that just came out. And it's like, how many times are they going to do Superman before they actually get it right? That's my main overall thought of it. Because you do that and then you turn around and you get villains and then things like that that you have to intertwine and bring into it. And then when you do that, you get let's say you get a really good actor that nails a villain or something like that. Now the show is just for one time thing or whatever. You can't reuse them. And that's the overall thing that bothers me, because it's like you don't know what you got until you actually see it on screen. But if you already planning that, you know what I'm saying, that you're not going to get another take at this, you're just ruining it. You're ruining things like a bunch of opportunities and things like that. So that's my overall plot with it. I'm excited to see how it goes because Michael B. Jordan has done a pretty decent job with his storytelling and superhero things. I even liked Raising Dion. Some people didn't like Raising Dion. I enjoyed it pretty well. Michael B. Jordan does a pretty good job as far as the superhero aspect and thing like that. So I'm actually excited to see that part.
Same, man. Like, if he's producing it, his production company's working on it. Like, I'm all in favor of it. Like, I can't wait to see it, especially if it's going to be a series. That means that they're actually trying to dive into Val-Zod's story. Very, very interested in that.
Yeah.
I am also interested in J.J. Abrams' Justice League Dark movie that's supposed to like have its own like universe, because I know Constantine is supposed to have a movie as well that takes place within that Justice League Dark universe. So I am excited for that. You know, that there will be a Black Superman in that film as well. But like, it's just, what's the direction of DC going forward? You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that they've at least figured out that they're not good at like interweaving all of these movies, but it just seems like they're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, right? And Spicy brings up the New Gods movie getting axed, right? I think New Gods got axed because because of Eternals. I think that's why New Gods got canceled, because the Eternals movies was coming out, and New Gods is essentially going to be the same type of thing, which is expanding the universe. And with the Eternals, with the New Gods, you could span from almost the dawn of time to present day.
So
you know
instead of admitting that, they blame Zack Snyder for including Darkseid, huh? That's crazy. They really threw Zack Snyder under the bus, because that's what they said. That's what the rumor was. The reports were, oh, Darkseid got used in Justice League, can't use him in New Gods, and it's like, why?
Yeah, because they don't want to continue that universe. But
man, so much greatness that you have.
But the truth is, oh, we don't want to compete with the MCU. We scared. Get the hell out of here.
I mean, they could do a lot with Justice League Dark. It just all depends on where they go with it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So is that live action then?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Matt Ryan, you coming back as Constantine, baby? Please?
Word is it's someone else.
I'm disgusted.
Rumor. Nothing's confirmed, but I've heard that they're looking for a completely new actor to be Constantine. Now, I would love it to be Matt Ryan, especially since he's not playing Constantine in the DC CW universe anymore.
That's what I'm wondering. Is that why, like, they said, hey...
I can only hope, bro.
Like, they're like, look, we don't want to confuse it with what's going on there, but people really love you as Constantine, so we're going to bring you here.
Like, I love Keanu. Don't get me wrong. Love Keanu. But Matt Ryan is Constantine. Period.
Keanu, to me, it's like, I never really... got, and I guess it's just because we had one movie. I never really got he was a DC character type of vibe. I saw Constantine as like, yo, this was just a completely unrelated retelling of a comic book storyline, a comic book character, but it wasn't like, hey, I'm doing a comic book character. When they brought in Matt Ryan and they did the Constantine show on NBC, that was the first time I felt like, yo, this is a DC character, despite not having too much DC influence in the NBC shows. But Matt Ryan just felt like, yeah, he would be, I could see him interacting with other DC characters for sure. I didn't get that vibe with Keanu.
The show could have worked, man. The show could have worked, but the writing team didn't care about Constantine. They just wanted to pick up a DC character since comics were hot at the time.
Yeah, it was like NBC. Y'all had a great first season.
Because
it was solid.
Steve, have you seen the Constantine live action series with Matt Ryan?
No. I haven't seen that. And honestly and truthfully, really until about 5 or 6 years ago, I didn't know that Constantine was a part of DC for a while, actually. So I was actually surprised. Yeah.
You're going to see him in Injustice as well.
Yeah. So,
well, I mean, maybe not this first film, but later down the line.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I found out really from Cam. Cam, that's her favorite DC character is Constantine.
Is it really?
She fucking loves Constantine. It's so
weird. Oh, wow.
So she was all like, yeah, duh, I talk about it all the time. And I was like, and I still didn't know it was DC. I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea.
That surprises me.
I'm gonna send you some Hellblazer comics. There's one specific run I'll send you. So good, and it'll make you fall in love with Constantine. He's amazing, man. But the show was decent. It just fell off because, like I said, I don't feel like the writers cared. If you look at the pilot and the second episode, it's like two different shows, right? The pilot happens, they get rid of the lead actress from the pilot because she was terrible and her arc did not work, so they removed her from the pilot, brought in a completely different character that was way more interesting. And like episode 2 through like 6, 7, I was like, this show can work. And then it just started to fall off and it wasn't that interesting, and then it got axed because, I mean, they didn't care. Yeah, but Spicy, I would love to see Vincent D'Onofrio in No Way Home. He is the perfect Wilson Fisk. It would be amazing. Especially knowing he is Kingpin, bro.
He's so
and
fire.
Kevin Feige's a fan. He knows that we love these actors playing these characters. There is no way that he's going to recast. Everyone is going to come back from the Netflix shows. They're all going to come back as their characters. I'm not worried about that at all. Kevin Feige's a fan. He knows that these people were perfect. Who plays Charlie Cox is amazing as Daredevil. He's amazing as Matt Murdock. There is no one else that could play him. John Bernthal as Punisher. No one else.
That's my Punisher.
Hey, no one else could be Punisher, bro.
You did what you needed to do. We appreciate you for opening the door, but that's my Punisher.
Vincent D'Onofrio is very. I butchered his last name, but I tried to slide past it.
I mean, you almost had it. You just continued.
I hiccuped a little bit, and that's what it was. But him as the Punisher, I mean, as Kingpin was just absolutely crazy. The decapitation door scene, you could literally watch his blood boiling as it was happening. And I was like, yo, this dude is insane. Like, he plays, every character that he plays on screen is just crazy. I don't know if you guys ever seen Magnificent Seven, but he plays.
I have.
Yeah, he's great in everything. And when I found out that he was like all these players, he's even in Men in Black, if I'm not mistaken. He's
Edgar
Cockroach.
Yeah, I'm like, he's every single person. Like, and it's like his range is crazy. So seeing him as Kingpin was just like, yo, this dude can't do no wrong.
Yeah, my introduction to him was Law and Order: Criminal Intent. Just the type of character he played on. As a result, Criminal Intent was my favorite Law and Order out of all the Law and Orders out running. You know, SVU is still going on, and everybody loves Olivia Benson, and SVU is great. But Criminal Intent was my speed, and Vincent, like, I was just like, yo, this dude is so dope. And then I started seeing him in other properties, and I was like, yo. And like Steve mentioned, that range, he has range. And then seeing him as Kingpin? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I need to see that interaction with Tom Holland, Spider-Man, for real. That would be so fun. So fun.
Yeah, he's great in everything. He's even in what's that show? Hollywood that's on Netflix.
Haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen
it. He's in there too. He's like one of the freaking movie biggest business executives. He's in everything, and he's like playing small roles, but his range is like so dynamic. It's like, damn, this dude cannot be stopped. He needs more love.
Rob, I respect your opinion. I just have to disagree, but I definitely respect your opinion. Daredevil is amazing, but for me to put it over like Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki, I personally can't do it, but definitely respect your opinion, man, because it's a great show, man. Great show. 3 seasons, absolute flames. Some of the best like one take fights, some of the best fight sequences in the MCU period. If I can argue that, if I'm being honest. But for me, I have to give the slightest edge, bro. Slightest edge to Falcon and Winter Soldier and now Loki.
I'm going to kind of side with Rob here. The reason being is this: when you add in the Netflix Marvel shows, and you include the Disney Plus shows as well, in my opinion, Daredevil, the show, was probably some of the best work of including his stories, his comic book stories, really well. And season 3 was the mother season, when he meets his mother and basically his fall from grace and whatnot. And they did that so well. And just the first season 2, dealing with the Hand, dealing with Elektra, I felt like I was reading an issue to issue. You know, not saying that Disney Plus shows didn't include comic book. They did, but I felt from them it was more of like, yo, let's throw some cameos and allude to stuff to let you know, like, yeah, we pay attention to different sources because you know how geeked I was over Loki, all the information, all the possible tie-ins, all the seeds that they planted. But Daredevil wasn't about that. Daredevil was like, look, here we got the comics, let's adapt it, and we're gonna tell it as well as we want to, with some variations, of course. There's always variations. So, look, I'm not gonna argue with someone saying Daredevil is number one because I could see it, and if I look at it that way, yeah, it was so good. It was so good, you know. Mind you, especially when you look at it as all right. How about this? As a standalone series, if it was not to connect to anything else, how would you view it amongst all the shows as standalone series, not tying into no MCU or none of that? How would you view it?
And comparing it to the other shows?
Yeah, Disney Plus shows included. We're taking them as standalone series, not connected to anything MCU.
It's so tough because those other series only have one season and it's such limited episodes. But, you know, if I have to choose, yeah, Daredevil for sure. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Because we know that the other ones connect to something bigger, I can see people not putting Daredevil number one above them. But when you look at it like, hey, you just want to throw on a series, you don't care about any movie implications, stuff like that, can't go wrong with Daredevil. Can't go wrong with Daredevil. And then in itself, Punisher is
I was gonna say
the Punisher series as a standalone series, yo, can't go wrong with that one either. And to be honest, when we talk about subject matter, you know, with WandaVision, we discuss more of grief. With Falcon and Winter Soldier, we discussed basically the role of being a black man in America. And then with Loki, we kind of saw, like, you know, a self-reflection is what I like to call it. Mm-hmm. With Punisher, we saw trauma. We saw what trauma looked like. How trauma affected, especially people in the military. And, you know, Steve, you're a veteran, so you can attest more to that or detract as you see fit. But when I watched that, I was just like, yo, I now have a better idea of what veterans experience. You know, because remember there was that one character who was sleeping in his backyard. He dug a trench in his backyard, and that's the only place he was comfortable to sleep. I was like, yo, we don't talk about, you know, not many shows, they like to gloss over it and whatnot, but they don't really dive into the psyche and some of the things that veterans may go through because of suffering from PTSD. And yo, Punisher series. So Rob, it may be unpopular, but you know what? I can see you saying Daredevil number one. I can really see you saying Daredevil number one. Punisher, I would think, would be top 5 as well.
Yeah, for a TV series, yeah. If Luke Cage didn't give us that mediocre second season, I would put Luke Cage in there too as well. Those Netflix series were great, really good.
So unpopular opinion. Luke Cage is the weakest of the Netflix shows.
Weaker than Iron Fist?
Weaker than Iron Fist?
Yep.
Ooh, that's
because
definitely...
I like all of Iron Fist season 1. Iron Fist season 2 was fine. The first half of Luke Cage season 1 was flames. Yes. The second half was dog shit.
When
season 2 was dog shit. Yeah. That's just me. If you gun to head, James, you can only watch Luke Cage or Iron Fist from Netflix for the rest of your life. I'm picking Iron Fist.
Wow. Gun to head, I'm picking Luke Cage because the soundtrack was fire. The soundtrack for both seasons was fire. Okay? And then, all right, I do agree. Once they got rid of Cottonmouth, that was a huge mistake. They shouldn't have done that.
Dog shit.
It was great. Second half was definitely, it was like, okay, cool, whatever.
I hate you because we have the same dad and he never paid attention to me and my family.
I was like, you got Cottonmouth up out of here for this dude?
The worst choreographed fight I have ever seen in any movie ever. In anything ever was at the end of Luke Cage season 1, bro. The worst fight scene I've ever seen.
To be honest, season 2, like, yes, the dab thing, yes, people love to bring that up. That was cheesy, but it fit with what was going on at the time. No reference to pop culture, I get it. But I enjoyed Bushmaster. I really did enjoy Bushmaster and the character. I know some people are like, oh, the accent was terrible and whatnot, and I said, yes, I understand that, but I still enjoyed the character, and he was whooping Luke's ass up and down the season. I was like, yeah, I like this.
I'm
and
all for making our invincible heroes vulnerable again.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the right guy, but that's just me.
Woo, boy, the storyline, I don't hate it, but I definitely would rather watch Luke Cage over Iron Fist. Easily.
Iron Fist would be like, well, okay, look.
No.
So you said out of all the Netflix, so there's still one more. There's Defenders. That was fucking.
The Defenders, okay. The Defenders is basically their Avengers film.
JB was like, I forgot about that one. Defenders wasn't good either.
Defenders was definitely the worst.
All right, I'm glad that Luke Cage is no longer the worst. All right, cool.
Thank you for reminding me, because I forgot.
I had to break the emergency glass. I was like, wait a minute.
Lord, Luke Cage over Iron Fist is wild, but now we know at least Defenders at the very bottom, so I don't care anymore when you put Luke Cage in relation to Iron Fist, but oh my gosh.
Rank them by
had it last.
What is the best seasons? Let's say best 3 seasons. So season by season, what's the best season? Rank them 1 to 3 out of the Netflix series.
Season 1 Daredevil. Season 1 Punisher. Season 1 Jessica Jones.
Damn.
Same. Exact same list.
Exact same. Yeah. Exact same.
All 3 seasons.
I thought y'all were going to forget about Jessica Jones.
Oh no!
Season 1 of Jessica Jones flames. Purple Man. David Tennant is my doctor, bro, and I have never been so disgusted by David Tennant in my life. He was such a creep, bro. Oh my god.
When he told old dude, he's like, "Go fuck yourself." And he walked away. He said, "Now, how do I know if he did that?" He's like, "How do I know if he's gonna go do that?" I was like, "Yo, this dude is sick." I was like, "He's sick." Yeah, Jessica Jones was definitely flames. I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah, I will say the seasons got less good as it went on for Jessica Jones for sure, but loved that first season. Loved it.
First season was great.
Like everything that she went through with Luke Cage, like finding out that she killed his girlfriend, and then they were sleeping together, and how awkward that was with the whole. It's like, yeah, man, I love that they dive into like these more human parts of these superheroes and their lives and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, spicy. Jessica Jones' homie, what was her name? Kid or Cat or whatever her name was, annoying as hell. Annoying.
Really? You thought she was annoying?
No, what she did? What she did when the season when Jessica Jones was going through that thing with her mom, she had no business interfering. You're
right.
A hypocrite, dog. You got a terrible mother who drove you to drugs and made you a shitty person, and you think you have the right to determine who Jessica Jones has a motherly relationship with? Nah, B. Nah, I wanted her dead, and then what she did so she could become like, oh, I want to be a superhero too. One of my most hated characters. I hate that.
Trisha is definitely way better in the comics.
Oh, that's her name. Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
way better in the comics compared
from the comics. Yeah, but.
Yeah, man. But the Netflix shows are good, man. I'm very excited to see how they all fit into the greater MCU. Now that spoilers for Loki. Now that Loki has like completely opened up the multiverse and all that stuff, I would love to see all of these characters cross over, because there's so much you can do. These characters are in New York, they're in Hell's Kitchen, they're right there, you know what I mean? Yeah. So can't wait to see it all connect. Other piece of news, unless you guys, I wanted to move on to the Scarlet news. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about with the Netflix shows?
F Trish Walk, whatever her name is. That's all I gotta say.
But yeah, let's get into the Scarlett news. So the reason why we didn't cover the Scarlett news previously is because Abe and I talked behind the scenes, and we knew that there was going to be so much more stuff coming out about this. Women in film had something to say. Kevin Feige had words to say. Bob Iger, former president of Disney, had words to say. So we wanted, because we knew more news was going to come out about this. So for those of you that may not know, you're probably living under a rock, but Scarlett Johansson is filing a lawsuit against Disney for releasing Black Widow on Disney Plus, because most of her money was going to come from the box office directly from the theaters for her bonus. That did not include the revenue from Disney Plus. Right now, Disney was trying to say, hey, we're just gonna give you $20 million as your bonus. You're gonna get your money anyway. But we all know that if it had the full theatrical run, she would have made a lot more money. Yeah. And shout out to Scarlett Johansson for being such a professional, because during all of the press tours, all of the interviews, she was very professional. She never brought it up. She never even mentioned it. It wasn't until the press tour was done that she brought it up and talked about this lawsuit. So we're going to go pretty in depth into this, but I want to know your guys' general thoughts. Do you agree with Scarlett? Do you think she's full of shit? What are your thoughts?
Well, you remember when we first heard about it, I was glad that we talked about it and decided to wait, because I was getting ready to cuss Kevin Feige out. I was like, dog, you've been giving us product to show that you're about proper representation, about equality, about supporting equal rights and all that stuff, and then you pull this stunt. And then, of course, we waited, we found out that he wasn't feeling this at all either. So he was on Scarlett's side. He didn't like the whole dropping at the same time in theaters and on the streaming platform. But I'm on ScarJo's side. I think, because we got to keep in mind, this has big implications for a lot of female actresses, a lot of actresses in the business, especially now in the MCU, since this is the route that they're going to go, that we know of for now. Because you see, we got some of my waifus with Renslayer, with B-15. I don't want them getting shafted from getting their bag. And then on top of that, just what bothered me the most was the press release from Disney, making it seem like, oh my goodness, ScarJo, we're in a pandemic. How dare you ask for your money? Excuse me? Not you gaslighting her. No way. You're going to throw a pandemic out there as an excuse for why you decided to cheat someone out of what they're owed? Nah, B, that joint pissed me off. I was upset. I was so upset. Those were my general thoughts. Like, that was a very shiesty, like, hoish move by Disney. That, oh my gosh.
Steve, what were your general thoughts on this?
My general thoughts was Scarlett is right. Like, she's right to know that what she's worth. Pretty much. She knows what this movie was going to bring in. She knows what she's worth. And she knew the hype behind it and everything like that. And it's unfortunate that COVID stepped in, but that's not my problem. In the end of the day, I want my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my worth. And she didn't say it, but let's just be honest. She knows about torrents. She knows the second that goes on to Disney.
Can't wait to talk about that.
She knows it. The second that it goes on Disney Plus, that's it. We have no reason to go to Disney. We have no reason to go to theater unless you're a true fan of Marvel and just trying to make sure that people are taken care of. But there's so many people out here that's just like, oh, well, I can just pull it up. You know what I'm saying? And so she knows that. And she's missing out on a huge lump sum just because of that.
And the thing is, too, it's all right. So when I said I'm upset with how Disney gaslighted, like, I'm not upset with releasing in theaters and on streaming platforms. Honestly, it's the best decision to go moving forward, because the theater business has been dying for a while, and then the pandemic didn't help it along. So I get that. But then when you're charging people $30 to watch it on your streaming platform, and then you're not paying the lead actress from that revenue, that's a whole move. And then you're blaming COVID. So if you care so much about COVID, why are you charging people $30 to watch a movie?
Exactly.
Why don't you do what HBO Max did, where you drop it? It's right there for 30 days, for a month. You can watch it however many times you want, whenever, right there for a whole month. No, you're like, hey, give us $30, which is more than going to the movies. A movie ticket is $10.
Yeah,
I don't buy snacks. I bring my snacks.
Yeah, their way of like trying to justify that is you're gonna pay $10 for the ticket. You're gonna pay for snacks and drinks and all this other stuff. And if you go, more than likely you won't go alone, so you'll have a date. Blah blah blah. Go, take the whole family. So you'll spend $50-$60 at the movie theaters. They're like, oh well, we're just gonna charge $30, and maybe you won't miss it. That's their way of justifying it. They're not taking into account for people that, you know what I'm saying, go to the movies by themselves. They don't take that into account.
Yeah, I'm a single bachelor. You know, I go to movies solo with my homie. You know, we go see movies, but if it comes down to the family experience, sure, okay, you know, I get that. But still, you're charging people during the whole pandemic, and then to say, oh, because of pandemic, like, first of all, people are paying to use your
Disney Plus
already. People are paying to use it, and now you're like, but hey, want to watch the latest movies? Well, give us $30 on top of what you already pay us, and then we'll give you free access.
You know what's even worse? These movies on Disney Plus, about 6 months from now, Black Widow will be on Disney Plus for free.
Oh no, it's 3 months after. It's 3 months afterwards.
Oh, 3 months.
Because
it's 3 months after the release.
Mulan came out in like what, September? Then it dropped in December for free. So it's like 30. Look, dog, I could wait 3 months. I could wait 3 months. I'm
$10 a month.
I can't.
like I could do that, or you know, I might do, you know. But anyway, look.
So I'm a stickler for the movie-going experience. For me, there is nothing better than the movie-going experience. There is nothing better than going opening night in Dolby Cinema to see your favorite movie, and this is 100% killing the movie-going experience. Black Widow, even with the pandemic, Black Widow should have been a movie that made 600 to 700 million easy. Right now, worldwide, Black Widow is sitting at $346.8 million. On Disney Plus, opening weekend, it made 60 million opening weekend, right? So add that onto that, that's like 407 million, right? Now, we don't know how much is made on Disney Plus since then, but if it made 60 million on Disney Plus, we have to assume that was like the bulk of most people, right? So the film already took a huge hit from it being on Disney Plus. Now, there is a $30 premiere charge, but that's for the entire family, and that's for the entire 30-day window. So that's less money for the film as well. Steve brought up another great point. Torrenting. People don't give a shit. They will torrent the movie. They will pirate it day one. So they're not even paying the premiere access for this movie. So this is where Disney should have done exactly what WB did, and I can't believe I'm saying that WB actually did something smart. But at the beginning of the pandemic with Wonder Woman 1984, they paid Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins their bonus based on what the film would have made in theaters based on the first Wonder Woman film. The first Wonder Woman film made almost $1 billion, so their bonus was based on almost $1 billion. And that's fair, right? Because they are releasing it for free on HBO Max for 30 days while it's in theaters simultaneously. So you're giving people a chance, right? But the film is losing money at the theaters, right? And this is a huge problem. And now that you include torrenting, for an MCU movie to barely crack 400 million at the worldwide box office is crazy. Black Widow has been out officially a month. It's kind of pathetic, right? This movie should have made $600 to $700 million within 2 weeks. 2 weeks, easily.
600 minimum. 600 minimum, in my opinion. Because again, I came in. I was one of those like, oh, why do we need a Black Widow movie? It's too late. I'm not gonna watch it. Blah blah blah. My best friend was like, let's go to the movie theater. I was like, all right, well, Black Widow's out. I'm not going to spend $30 on it. I'd rather spend 10. So we go see it. I'm like, holy hell. I owe Black Widow an apology. I enjoyed the movie.
And I completely align with Scarlett. Like, 20 million isn't enough because she would have gotten more. Why not get more? There was a moment in time where Scarlett Johansson was the highest paid female actor in Hollywood, period.
Yeah.
Like, she deserves that money. She is the draw of this entire movie. She deserves the money.
Yeah.
And she is just taking legal action to make sure that she gets the money that she deserves. And a mega company like Disney really made a statement, a public statement, saying there is no merit whatsoever for this filing. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of COVID-19. What?
Yo.
They
Bro.
tried to throw shade at Scarlett, calling her insensitive for wanting more money during the pandemic. Disney, you got the money. You got the money. Pay her what she deserves to get fucking paid. This is not fair.
Wait. Disney Plus didn't mind endangering their actors and crew's lives who were performing and working during a pandemic, right? Oh, that God not callous then. That y'all okay. All right. This is what we call gaslighting, right? Okay, bet.
Right. I'm like, this is, look at the terms they're using. Callous. The callous disregard. I'm like, this is embarrassing. And this is exactly what Kevin Feige had to say. Feige said that he is angry and embarrassed that Disney made this had this reaction to Scarlett's lawsuit. She deserves the money. Settle out in court and just pay her the fucking money. And as you go forward, do better. Right? Now, I'm not sure if Emma Stone is going to continue with it, but there were rumors, there were talks, there were rumblings that Emma Stone might be filing a lawsuit to get more money on the back end.
What's crazy, could you imagine the divorce between Disney and Marvel if it came down to it? It would be heartbreaking for us. Because like Marvel teaming up with Disney was like everything. And
they'll work it out.
Yeah. It'll be fine. The reason why I'm pissed is because they're gonna settle out in court anyway. They're gonna settle out and just pay her the money. So why make this public statement? Sorry to cut you off, Steve.
No, you're good. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about saving face, though, right? We didn't do anything wrong. You're overreacting. So, and then, like, out of the end, they're like, if you just told me, I just paid you under the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they're definitely saving face. But if this went ugly and Disney fought it, and then Kevin Feige, who is the genius behind Marvel, and everybody from Marvel decides to hold hands and stick together, and Marvel's like, all right, we're gonna make Marvel Studios or something, and it just be released under that from now on. That divorce would be nightmarish. Like, I couldn't imagine Marvel not being a part of Disney just because of everything that goes with it, with the budget and everything.
Too much money would be lost. The Disney's not. They're gonna figure something out. They're gonna have to find.
They're gonna pay her. They're gonna pay her easily,
and
then
they're
after
gonna pay her.
Paid, Emma Stone is gonna be like, I deserve more money.
Yeah,
and then
but again, this is right because then look. Here's the thing that we have to keep in mind. I'm gonna bring race into it. If you don't want to hear about it, then I'm sorry. You just don't have to either mute me or just I don't care. I don't give a damn. Anyway, so ScarJo, Emma Stone, they're doing this to get paid, right? Mm-hmm. What about the woman of color, Black woman, Latina woman? What about them? Will they, if ScarJo and them don't speak up, do they get their just compensation? Probably not. Instead, they'll get even smaller checks, and then when they complain, people be like, "Oh, you should be grateful." Oh my gosh, why are you talking? Shut up.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to scare you. So this is necessary because I want to make sure the women of color who've been working their ass off, I want to make sure they get the bag they deserve, that they don't get cheated by stuff like this.
Not even that. Like, at least they had their $30 premiere access, and somehow somebody was getting paid. Yeah. Soul just came out. Onward kind of just, those movies just came out. No money, no compensation. So I'm wondering if, like, does Jamie Foxx decide? Because that won an Academy Award. You know what I'm saying? That won an Oscar. Does Jamie Foxx decide, hold on, they might be right. I deserve more money. You know what I'm saying? What happens now? Is it just going to spiral out of control? Like, it can get ugly. It can get ugly.
It's very simple. It's very simple. Base the bonus based on what the film would have made worldwide theatrical. You have analysts that know these box office projections anyway. So just pay them the percentage based on that. And then everyone's happy. Because that's what you were going to pay them anyway.
And then in regards to because I know Feige wasn't feeling the simultaneous release, just stagger it. You know, I don't see a problem with staggering. You know, have the movie drop and then 2 weeks later it's available on streaming platforms. Whether you still want to charge $30 or do it like that, I feel like that could, because you allow the, like, yes, torrenting is going to happen regardless. It's unavoidable. Piracy is just that. I mean, look, we used to use LimeWire back in the day. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's not act holding it now. I see y'all. I know y'all was on LimeWire giving you computer viruses. I know. I was one of them. But
I'm with you, Abe. Like 2 weeks would be great, right? Because think about it like this. I believe it was Infinity War, but it could have been Endgame. One of them hit over $1 billion in 9 days. So 2 weeks is more than long enough for a film to make a bunch of money at the box office, and then put it on Disney Plus at Premier Access if you want.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That should be the way to go moving forward. But I also never understood why Disney went that route when HBO Max, because remember, the first time we had it was when Mulan dropped, and people were like, what? And then HBO Max, what was the first project that they dropped? And everybody was like, you see, why didn't you just do it this way? I forgot what movie it was.
Wasn't the first one Wonder Woman 1984?
Oh, I think it was Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Wasn't that the first big one to drop on HBO Max?
It was just like, all right, Disney, you drop Mulan, and then you're charging people, and then it's like, wait, HBO Max is dropping Wonder Woman at the end of the year, and they're not charging people? I mean, mind you, Wonder Woman 1984 was a terrible movie regardless, but still, I was like, why don't y'all just do that? And then I was thinking, because remember the backlash on the internet that Disney Plus got when the people heard the HBO announcement. Then HBO said they were going to do that moving forward. So I was like, all right, maybe Disney would be like, all right, well, people prefer that, and look at the success. We could do that too. They're like, no.
As a businessman, I get it, because I mean, the Premier Access is to offset the theater costs, right? There's no way to completely offset it. But HBO Max, they're just taking the hit. I mean, yes, they have subscriptions. Yes, technically, they will entice more new members to sign up. But, like, they also allow you to have, like, 4 users, so people can just share logins.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't think it was Wonder Woman, because I do know Tenet came out, like, in August. So that was way before Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman came out Christmas Day.
No, but the thing was,
but Nolan fought for Tenet to be in theaters only. It wasn't a simultaneous release.
Okay.
Because, it dropped later, and then they took it off, and then they put it back on. It's currently on there now.
Yeah, because I thought they did like the 30-day thing.
No, that's what I thought too, and then it's back on, and I'm like,
Tenet didn't hit HBO Max until like a month plus after the theatrical window.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, I remember watching it, and then like they took it off after the 30 days, and then they brought it back.
Yeah. So it was Mulan in 1984, and it was just like, HBO Max is doing it the right way, because of course Suicide Squad is currently, and they even dropped it a day early too. They dropped
a couple hours early,
Yeah. So, I mean, it's dope, because I do JD Banks, a former giveaway winner, by the way. JD Banks mentioned it. The theater is yes, JB, it's a great experience, but I also agree with JD. Movie theaters can be disgusting, especially when you hear about one movie theater not being up to standard. You kind of look at everything differently, because hey, you can't expect it yourself. You're going to a dark theater, you just gotta assume, right? And plus, the pandemic has shown me that a lot of Americans are dirty people anyway, so that makes me even less confident about movie theaters being clean. So I understand why staying home, being able to have access on streaming platforms is perfect. And as a result, that's why I love HBO Max. Yes, HBO Max has other issues, but the fact that I don't have to go to a theater to see a major movie. I don't have to go to a theater to see Matrix 4. I can watch that from the comfort of my own home. I can watch it whenever I want. I can be like, yo, when the Zack Snyder cut,
we'll see.
I didn't watch that in one full day. I watched that over a 3-day span, because I was like, look, yo, I got stuff to do, and this is a long movie.
You're ruining the pacing. You gotta watch it all at once.
Look, I enjoyed it regardless, but I was just like, yo, let me just, all right, put a pause here, continue working. I like that. So
I'm with JB. I love going to the theaters. I love especially going like opening weekend or something like that, because you get everybody's excitement with it. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So going to go
like,
see a horror movie.
Endgame with fans, like when Cap wields Mjolnir for the first time and is like throwing lightning at fucking Thanos. Like,
everybody's screaming.
Everyone's losing their shit.
Yeah, you don't have the same hype, especially if you're doing what you're doing, where you're like, oh, I paused it and I did. You don't have that same hypeness about it, especially with like comedies. With comedies on open weekend, movies that were absolutely not funny when I watched them by myself were hilarious in theaters. And it's because everybody else is laughing and it kind of makes you laugh too. Like theaters change a lot of experience.
This is where my experience is different, because preferably, I like going to the theaters when there's not much people there. So I'm the type to always go like, 9 a.m., cool. Before noon, cool. I never go to theaters at night because I don't want to be in a room with other people. I just want to be solo in a big empty space, just enjoying the film. I don't care about other people at all. So I don't go there for community. That's why I like going to movies, to be by myself and to watch it. But I can also do that at home. I'm just not paying $30 to do it.
I'm a people person. I'll sit next to an old white lady, like it's nothing.
Already messing up.
Yeah, hey, look, how you doing? Like,
I'm going to the top row, right somewhere in the middle. Make sure there's no one on the other side so I can enjoy myself. I'm not trying to sit with nobody. I'm not trying to make friends. No, I'm here, me, myself, and the movie. I like going to the movie theater solo a lot. It's a fun time.
See, to offset the cost, just get A-list. $20 a month. 12 movies a month, any format.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that when they did what that was? They also had that what thing? The movie review, that red card or movie.
Movie pass.
Oh, movie pass. I had it. And
yeah, I had
it
movie
was
pass.
Great. And then I was like, all right, now stop charging me since y'all don't know what y'all doing.
The people that put movie pass together, they're idiots. They didn't think about this long term, and they completely fucked it, because I saw Black Panther 8-9 times in a week, right? You have to think, I'm seeing this in Dolby Cinema. That's like $18.50 per ticket, and I'm only paying $10 a month for Movie Pass. They weren't thinking about this. No, you've already effectively, because Movie Pass pays the theater's full price. So if you've lost almost $100 plus tax, bro. So it's crazy. They had no idea what they were doing. It's like, well, if we come in really, really cheap, we can get to 1 million subscribers, and then we can increase the price, and then everything will offset. No. No.
That's not how that works.
Unlimited movies for $10 a month for someone like me? What? I'm taking you to the cleaners, bro.
That's how I was when we were on deployment. We got to go to movie theater for free.
Nice.
We could see as many times as we want to. I was like, "Oh, you fucked up." I was. I saw Get Out, Magnificent Seven, and stuff like that. I saw those movies like 12 times.
Yo,
like, that's just over and over and over.
Every weekend was a movie theater trip, because I was like, shit, I got movie pass. Like, let's get it popping. What movie came out this weekend? Bet I'm gonna see that. All right, I'm gonna see that too. Spend the whole Saturday just at the theater, because why? Movie pass allowed me to do that. And the crazy thing was, I remember, rest in peace to my homie George. We were talking about it because we both had it. We were like, yo, this doesn't make sense to continue long term. But we're not gonna ask questions. We're just gonna keep using it, and then we'll deal with it when it got there. And it lasted like 2 or 3 months before it was like, all right, guys, now you actually have to pay like partial price for the ticket. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm canceling.
Cancel.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what's your favorite movie that you saw in theaters that didn't hit the same when you watched it alone or at home or whatever?
I don't know, man.
Tomb Raider. Not the reboot, but the Angelina Jolie drama. That was my first movie theater experience. Tomb Raider was rated PG-13 or rated R?
Mm-hmm.
PG-13.
Yep.
PG-13. I was 7 years old. My uncle took me with my god sister to go see that. And I'm just like, yo, this is really dope. And then when I saw it at home, like I think a year or two later, I was like, oh, it didn't hit the same. I love Angelina Jolie, don't get me wrong, and I enjoyed the movie, but it was in theater. It it was a better experience and honestly, being the first one, the other ones like Harry Potter, I had issues with Harry Potter for other reasons. Black Panther, Black Panther did hit better in theater, but that was one of the few times where I went with a whole group of people. Like it was a whole show. I was in my Agbada and Shokoto. I had the Naija flag on me. My afro was pulled out. I was walking around Pasadena like Omo Naija. Crossing streets, cars honking at me, and I'm like, it's Black Panther Day, y'all. I don't give a damn. I just a whole bunch, and that in itself was a great experience because going to the theater, just the amount of just camaraderie, all the black people of color who are out there, it was just so fun. So Black Panther is an exception, but for me, definitely Tomb Raider.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I think that movie for me might be shit, and I just lost it. It might be Terminator Dark Fate. I saw it in theaters. I was like, man, Terminator's back at the theaters. Tim Miller's directing. Rev 9 is so fucking cool. And then I watched it at home. I was like, oh no, this is one of the worst Terminator movies ever made. It's not as bad as Genesis, but this fucking movie sucks. Yeah, it sucks.
I'm glad I never went to the theater for that one.
Bro, I'm like, man, I was so high on this movie. And it's funny, like, plug for Patreon. If you go on patreon.com/C4SVillains, if you look at the Terminator Best One, Worst One episode, I talk so highly of Terminator Dark Fate. I was like, oh, this is Terminator true to form. This is the best since Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And then you see it again. I was like, oh no, this movie's dog shit.
I'm sorry, JB. Damn.
This movie's dog shit.
My movie that didn't hit the same for me wasn't that big of a difference. Like, so the movie is The Strangers. The Strangers was still good when I saw it at home, but in theaters, there's no music when the bad guy shows up on the screen. You just see him in the background. Like when the killer is there, he's just in the background, he's there. And not everybody saw it at the same time. So there was people in the audience that would scream because they saw it and noticed him. And I still hadn't noticed it. So it scared me. And I was like, oh shit, like that movie hit way different in the theaters than it did at home. There's no build-up music and horror music that's coming. The Strangers was crazy in theaters, especially on opening week.
Strangers for me was so dope because I watched it. It was all right. Let's set the scene. We got young Abe. This is back in 2012, the summer of 2012. I had just graduated high school. I'm doing a summer program at what would be my alma mater. I'm in a summer program with a bunch of other kids, and we're just all in the common lounge of the dorm we were staying in. It's like 11 o'clock at night. Mind you, we're in Ohio, rural Ohio, middle of nowhere, Ohio. The nearest major town is Columbus, about 45 minutes away. Okay, a lot of farmland. We're on a hill. So I'm just setting the scene, right? We're all watching The Strangers. Next thing you know, it's like halfway through the movie. So we're already jumpy and stuff like that, right? Flashlights start going through the common room. And we're like, yo, what the hell? And it's campus safety. So it's campus safety is like, yo, yeah, we're just checking to make sure everybody who's supposed to be is here because we saw that because to access dorms on campus, you need to swipe your ID card. They're like, yeah, an unauthorized ID card is being used. And we're like, oh my God. So all the guys were sleeping on the first floor, all the ladies were sleeping on the second floor. Bro, we were like, yo, people were just couldn't finish the movie, super frightened. The guys were having to go upstairs, check closets, check wardrobes and all that, John. Best experience of watching The Strangers in my life, dog. Best experience because we were all scared shitless. We were like, oh, we about to die. There's no one. What city we gonna run to? We gonna run off campus and just be stuck in the cornfield and you're gonna be dead. Fantastic. Fabulous. Oh my God. I love The Strangers because of that experience. Oh my goodness.
It was great. It was fire, especially in theater. It was so good.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen The Strangers, but yeah, man, it's Yeah, I can't I can't believe like I actually thought the movie was good when I saw it in theaters for the first time. Like now that you brought that up, I just like, oh man, I thought it was absolute dog shit when I finally saw it at home. But last topic that we're gonna talk about tonight is, now this is just a rumor, nothing confirmed at all whatsoever. But the rumor is Henry Cavill has met with Kevin Feige for a potential Marvel role, right? Huge rumor, no idea what's gonna happen. So when I heard this news, I was like, you know what? Will be really fun to end the show. Let's do some fan casting for Henry Cavill in the MCU if something like that were to happen. So I want to toss it to you guys first, and I want to know maybe one or two, maybe three characters that you think Henry Cavill would do a really good job as in the MCU.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
People have been like recommending. You know what? I feel like I'm a cheat. Yeah, I'm a cheat. Okay, because I already know what some people are going with, and I was cool with it. But Wolverine, people were recommending Wolverine, which first of all, I'm cool with. But if those are the same people who had a problem with Hugh Jackman, you're gonna have a problem with Henry Cavill because like he's taller, and you know people are like, no, Wolverine's. I don't give a damn about Wolverine being short, dog. I just want a good Wolverine. So Henry, if you want to play Wolverine, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Plus, I mean, Wolverine is French Canadian, well Canadian. You know, if I feel like Henry can throw in a better accent than whatever American person they were going to get. Cyclops is what someone fan casted. I forgot the artist, but they went on IG and just drew artwork of Henry Cavill as Cyclops. And first of all, Cyclops looks yoked as a result.
Mm-hmm.
Looks freaking yoked. And then for myself, I'm not gonna mention because Ray came up with some suggestions too. But for my third person, I think I wouldn't mind seeing him as, you know what? Even though it's not to be expected, unless, well, maybe we can get it further down the line. But I wouldn't mind seeing him a member of the Black Order. I wouldn't mind it. I honestly think it'd be fun. And I'm not. I blank on the names. I'm not thinking about the big muscular one. Think about the one that was it Corvus, who was with Proxima. Was that one?
I can't remember his name.
But you know Proxima, and then her boo. What am I seeing him as him? You know, I wouldn't mind getting Cavill to be in the Black Order, but that's depending on if we ever get the Black Order again. You know, I would love him. I think they got hold, but the multiverse is back, so who knows?
I definitely was thinking Cyclops just because he just gives that Boy Scout look. Cyclops just fits too perfectly for Henry Cavill. One that I think would be dope, but obviously I don't think it's gonna be. That's not the role he was introduced for. But I think him as Kraven the Hunter would be a dope role for Henry Cavill. I thought that would be a dope role for him.
Okay.
And then my last one would be like a fuck you to DC. Let him be Sentry. let him be Sentry, and it'll be like a
or Hyperion.
Yeah, just like fuck you. I could do this.
So if he was Sentry, him playing the Void too would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be a really fun Oh, I like Sentry because just his role as the Void would be so dope. Maybe like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Cyclops was definitely the one I'm thinking though.
Yeah, I wanted to stay away from the Boy Scout type characters. So Rob actually picked one of my picks. I think he would be amazing as Adam Warlock. Ooh. I think that would be so sick for him to be Adam Warlock. Okay. I was also thinking, I was like, you know what? Henry Cavill can be Nova too. Why not? I think he would be a dope.
We don't
Nova.
have Nova yet, but I assume that we're probably gonna keep the same actor who's they've teased so far for Adam Warlock. Because he's the thing is Adam Warlock is confirmed from Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Right.
So unless they've been keeping it on the wraps, that I didn't even think of that. But it would be cool. It would be cool for as an Adam Warlock. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, Adam Warlock, Nova, and I know I said John Bernthal is the perfect Punisher, But if they decided to choose someone else, a complete 180 to the Boy Scout, make Henry Cavill Frank Castle, bro.
That would be crazy too.
I'd pay for that shit.
Hey, you know who else that I wanted to say that I forgot about? Namor the Submariner. Henry Cavill as Namor.
Low key, that's a big FU to DC too. It's like, we're gonna make him out. We're gonna make him out Aquaman. How you like them apples?
I think he was Namor. Dope as Namor.
But it'd be so good because, all right, look, even though I said, he'd be the Aquaman, Namor is far superior to Aquaman. Namor is far superior. Namor has so much more complexity and depth. Henry Cavill as him would be, it'd just be so hilarious because of course you're going to make the Aquaman references and be like, damn.
You have to.
It's inevitable. It's just like, damn. Like, okay.
No. That was fun. Henry Cavill as the Beyonder. Yes. Yes. Come on.
You know why I want the Beyonder. You already know why I want the Beyonder. So, but here's the thing. That means he's going to get his ass whooped by whoever gets cast as Doom. And I'm not sure I'm ready for that. I'm not sure I'm ready for that. But that'd be lit too.
Yeah, man.
I really feel like, I'm sorry. Since you mentioned Beyonder, I really feel like I hope that we get the Beyonder in the What If series. Because
I think so.
You can easily do it. It wouldn't be forced. It would make sense. Because the What If series, let's just let people know now. We're gonna remind you again next week. The What If series are canon.
Canon, yes.
Don't question it. It makes perfect sense because it's the best way to talk about the multiverse without forcing too much. By saying, hey, What If series? They're like, what if Sarah Carter took the super soldier serum? Well, yes, this happens in another multiverse. We're showing it to you, but we don't have to make you a whole new show or movie or try to introduce it in an awkward way. This is a great way to do it. They show me the Beyonder. Again, I'm ready for Secret Wars. Give me that. Please, give it to me.
How would you guys feel? I mean, I think he'd look weird bald, but I just instantly thought of Silver Surfer for some reason.
He did pop into my mind, but then no, because Silver Surfer has been holed several times in not only in film but also in the comics a bit.
Because he's too OP, man.
Yeah, so it's like if Henry Cavill is going to join the MCU, I want him to play a role that allows him more prominence.
Magneto.
Reed Richards.
I like Fassbender as Magneto.
Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know if he's even interested, because him and McAvoy, who knew that they would be such great Professor X and Magneto after we already got Patrick Stewart and Serena McKellen? Who knew that we could get two actors that good? I would hope they would want to come back. You know what I mean? But they've already done it for so many years at this point. Yeah. Do they want to come back? Because if they get signed, they sign on to Marvel Studios for multiple films. They don't do 1, 2 film, 3 film contracts anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like
they're on for the next 10
and then shows as well too. But the bag. I mean, mind you.
I mean, yeah.
ScarJo, it depends on how this ScarJo situation goes, but the bag. However, if Henry Cavill, all right, because of that, since you brought it up, we've had such good. To have a good Magneto, you need a good Professor Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
So if Henry Cavill was to be Magneto, who would be Professor Xavier? Who do you think would be able to work well off of Cavill?
Vin Diesel, of course. just let.
All right, it was great being on this episode. I'm leaving. This is absurd. This is wrong.
I don't know, but I would like to think about that and bring it up on next week's show, actually.
Yeah, I have to think about that one for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
because it has to be someone that would play off of Henry Cavill really well.
Now, mind you, not saying that that someone couldn't just come in completely stranger and do it, because I wouldn't have guessed McAvoy and Fassbender could work. But we've already gotten to see a bit of Cavill's range with Superman, with Fallout, playing a petty bad guy, by the way, because he was petty in Fallout. So we can, The Witcher. So we've seen range
so good
from
at
him.
Geralt.
Yeah, we've seen range from him. So who do you think could possibly, and it doesn't mind if it's someone from left field, if you think they have range, recommend them. But who do you think would be able to match his efforts? as his Professor Xavier, because mind you, Professor Xavier and Magneto always had a really close relationship. They always did, and you can feel that with McLennan and Stewart, with McAvoy and Fassbender. You felt like in real life those two people were actually cool with each other, like, and they actually had history with each other. So I'm curious as to who would have as Professor Xavier if we were to have Henry Cavill as Magneto.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be a yoked out Magneto though. Like, oh my god. Whoa, you see Magneto pull up like, yeah, what metal am I gonna work?
I feel like his normal size, his normal like muscles are like good enough, like, because he obviously bulks up more for Superman and stuff like that. But yeah, man, this was a lot of fun. I would love to do more fan castings in the future. I think that would be pretty dope. Like Blue Marvel. In a future episode, I would love to do like a fan casting for Blue Marvel. I think that would be sick. Because I mean, Jonathan Majors would have been perfect. Michael B. Jordan would have been perfect too, but you know they're taken as other Marvel characters, so we should do that. Maybe during our What If episode 2 review, maybe we can do a fan casting for Blue Marvel, because he has to be coming in the MCU at some point, man. I feel like the signs are there. I feel like he might show up soon. Yeah.
I'm down for it.
Yeah, man. But this episode was a lot of fun. This was a super chill episode. I wanted it to be super chill. I just wanted us to come hang out, nerd out about some comic book news, recommend some comics to you guys. Because like I said, next week, we're going to be doing a full deep dive review of What If and James Gunn's Suicide Squad. That is going to be a jam-packed episode. Vash will be back. He wasn't on tonight's episode because he had to do some production work. But I had a blast here with Abe and Steve, the new official members, co-hosts on C4SVillains. Also, Abe and Steve are also writers for C4S in general. Steve has already written an Invincible review, a review on Space Jam: A New Legacy. Steve is going to be working on some other stuff coming up here in the near future. Abe is going to be working on some stuff too. So the team is growing, man, and I'm loving the growth. Loving having all of these different content creators coming together where we can talk about comics. I can't wait to be on you guys' shows. I can't wait to be on Osa and Abe on Inside the Mind of the Blurred. Love that we all can, again, come together and make some great shit.
Steve, how we haven't had JB or any member of anime lately, Inside the Mind of the Blurred? What's up, Steve? You don't like him? Is that what you said, Steve?
I was actually talking to Alpha today, and he was all like, "Man, Careful for Spoilers is a lot like Comics Among Us. Can you know what I'm saying, say a word or two?" And I was all like, I think James might be able to slide that in there. We can have some good comic book talk.
Let me know, bro. Say less.
Inside the Mind of a Blurred has had a member of anime lately.
Oh my God! Hear this nigga.
I just love that I wear multiple hats. So I'm just like, I represent everybody. So, but yeah,
you really do, JB, though.
Yeah, I really do. But yeah, no, JB for sure. We need to have you on Inside. Yeah, Comics Among Us would be easy money.
Yeah, man. That's gonna do it for tonight's show. Steve, where can the people find you online?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ScubaSteve1428. Follow the Inside the Mind of a Blurred page with the link tree. That's where you can follow me if you haven't found me. You can definitely follow me on there, because for some reason that podcast page has more followers than I do now. I don't know who's running it, but I'm doing a decent job. But yeah.
Like I said, I wear so many fucking hats. Oh my goodness. Oh, is it my turn? Okay.
It is, sir.
All right. Well, then let me. You know what? At some point, I need all these entities to make like merch, so then I could just, do like those do-rag. I'll be like, here's the first one. Here's the second one. But anyway, it's your boy Prince Issue, aka Son of Darkseid, aka Kang Variant, also known as Laburu himself. In addition to the Jin of Apocalypse, because hey, Wishmaster. You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at Prince_Elawa. It's been about 2 weeks since I last streamed. I do apologize. There's been minor hiccups, but I'm hoping to return to streaming next week. As a result, I will push back the Kang giveaway, or more so, JB, we might as well do the Kang giveaway on Careful for Spoilers. We might as well do it then. So first issue actually comes out August 18th. The first issue, so
that can't wait, bro. Yeah. Oh my God,
I love that day. That's a great day.
Oh, and it's one of our new hosts' birthday. I wonder, can you guess which Leo is turning, I don't know how old, on August 18th? I'm not a Leo, by the way. I'm Aquarius. But yes, we'll do the giveaway on Careful for Spoilers. That Friday of release, we'll have multiple winners, so we'll just announce that now. We'll come up with a criteria probably before next episode. Find me on at Twitch and Twitter. Of course, follow Inside the Mind of a Blurred, the Blurred Mind Pod on Twitter. I run that account. Follow the Blurred Mind Pod on Instagram. Steve runs that account. Follow Spicy Lady Entertainment. Definitely follow her on Twitch at Spicy Lady Gaming. Follow Anime Lately, of course. Follow Careful for Spoilers. And as last but not least, definitely check out the OSET A podcast on whatever streaming platform you listen to. And again, it's been great being here. It's been great interacting with all of you. Shout out to JB. Shout out to Edlin, former giveaway winners, and also people that I love interacting with. They're pretty awesome. So as a result, definitely go check out Guardians of Luna on Twitch. They are lit. If you love Final Fantasy, they're fun. And then their extended family is pretty dope too. So yeah, that's all everything for me. Like I said, I wear many hats. So when I shout out, it's all people working with in some capacity, and it's pretty dope. I'm blessed to have the opportunity, the trust to work alongside you guys and to really see your dreams and reality become big. JB, Careful Spoilers is so dope, and I can't wait to see it continue to grow. Steve, again, Inside the Mind of Bird has been so dope, seeing where it started and where it is now. We move,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. A lot of great creators making a lot of great content. Make sure you guys are following all of us. All of the links are going to be in the description below. Link trees, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all of that stuff in the description below. You guys know you can follow me all over social media at JB Exclusive. Follow me on Twitter. I review comics on there on the timeline. I review manga there as well, and movies. I will be doing my non-spoiler Suicide Squad review after we log off here for this episode. Also follow me on Twitter at C4SVillains. But to find absolutely everything that we do, go to carefulforspoilers.com. You'll find links to the Patreon, where we have the $1 tier, the $3 tier, which is our producer tier. Once you sign up for that tier, you will immediately gain access to 32 episodes of the Best One Worst One podcast, and you will receive a producer credit on every single thing that we produce here at C4S. And at the $10 tier, the Vault tier, not only will you get all 32 episodes of the Best One Worst One podcast, you will also gain access to 20 plus episodes that can only be found in the Vault from our various podcasts, but mainly from the Careful for Spoilers podcast. So all of our in-depth reviews of every single Avengers movie, Iron Man, Captain America the First Avenger, Split, Hereditary, literally some of our best reviews ever can only be found in one place, and that's on the Vault. Being at the Vault tier also is going to give you special discounts for the merch store, which is shopforspoilers.com. Go ahead, get you a C4S t-shirt, a Villains t-shirt, support the brand, and yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys on the next one.